Tig here again. In today's video, we're going to consider all the ways that students can use GenAI to help them with assignments and essays for university, but won't result in allegations of cheating or academic misconduct. This is because none of the text in the assignment or essay will be flagged by AI detectors because it won't have been generated by AI. Let's be real for a minute. Using GenAI to write an assignment is fast, and depending on the quality of the prompt that you've used, often not completely terrible. This text will be flagged by Turnitin and other major AI detectors. Humanizers, spinners, and other bypass tools are basically useless. They mess up the writing so much and confuse the meaning that correcting humanized text could take as long as doing the assignment yourself, and even then, the corrected text might be flagged as AI written. Students need to be smart about how they use GenAI, or just avoid it completely. In this video, I'm going to describe ways that you can use GenAI to help you earn the highest mark possible for an essay or assignment without relying on inauthentic GenAI writing. But first, I would like to thank the over 200 subscribers to this channel for their interest and kind comments. I created this channel to help both educators and students understand the value and limitations of GenAI and decide how they want to use it as part of their teaching or studies. I want to grow this channel and ensure it remains as interesting and relevant to viewers as possible. Therefore, I'd really appreciate it if you liked this video and shared it with anyone you think it could help. If you've got a question about GenAI in higher education, or there's something you'd like to see on the channel, please let me know in a comment and I'll respond as quickly as possible. Thank you. Number 1. Understanding the assessment brief, simplifying instructions. First things first, we have an assignment brief that explains what we need to do for an assignment and how marks are awarded. For this video, I'm going to use my own assignment from the last academic year. There are 2 parts to this assignment: marking and critiquing a research proposal written by GenAI and writing a reflective statement on the benefits and shortcomings of using GenAI for complex tasks like writing the research proposal. Let's use GenAI to help us understand the assessment brief and simplify the instructions to inform how we're going to approach it. Let's use the free version of ChatGPT. We'll upload the assignment brief and say to ChatGPT that we would like some help understanding the assessment and what we need to do. We would like ChatGPT to read the attached assessment brief and help us understand what is expected of us and to simplify the instructions. I've also asked for some advice on how to begin working on the assignment. ChatGPT says that we first have to use GenAI to write a research proposal and then critically assess that research proposal as if we were the marker. We have 1,000 words for our mark and critique. It says that we are given assessment criteria that we should use to award marks and provide feedback on the GenAI research proposal. It also gives us some top tips for our critique. Be thorough and balanced in your analysis. Highlight both strengths and weaknesses. Use academic references and theories to support the feedback. It even provides a little example why a certain research method might not align with the research objectives. Not bad, ChatGPT. After that, we need to write a 500-word reflective statement on using GenAI for writing the research proposal, and it gives us some ideas for things we might consider. Below this are some helpful tips and suggestions for earning the highest mark possible. ChatGPT says 40% of the marks in the assignment or for evaluating the methodology and ethics. Let's verify this claim. And no, ChatGPT is wrong. 35% of the marks are for evaluating the methodology and ethical considerations. It seems to be getting confused with the marking criteria that students will use to assess the quality of the GenAI research proposal. This highlights the importance of checking everything that a GenAI says. AI is a misnomer, and it's not intelligent at all. all. It's simply a probability model that will give you a statistically likely sequence of words in a probable order based on the words and the context of your prompt. Good thing we checked this. It says that we need to use academic references to justify our critical comments. Very good. We should offer suggestions for how the GenAI research proposal can be enhanced. We should use APA referencing. Thanks, ChatGPT. It advises us that we should start early as the module is complex and requires an understanding of materials. We need to use the template provided. We should reflect authentically. That's not bad, but I'd like a little more help. Number 2, outlining or structuring the assignment. Let's ask for some guidance on outlining or structuring the assignment to earn the highest marks possible. Let's start by asking for help structuring the mark and critique of the research proposal. Good stuff here from ChatGPT. It says that we should start with a short introduction of no more than 150 words. I don't think that's the best use of our limited word count, but okay. We then organize the critique according to each of the marking criteria for students, and we've got some good suggestions about how to do this well for each of the criteria. Not bad. This has given me a much stronger idea for how I can maximize my mark for each of these sections. Finally, ChatGPT suggests that we include a short overall evaluation and recommendations for improving the research proposal. Not a very good use of the word count in my view. The overall evaluation will just duplicate what is already written in the text, and the recommendations would be better peppered throughout the critique at appropriate places. Again, we've got some great and really helpful suggestions, but we can't outsource our thinking to a GenAI. The tips for high marks are very similar to those proposed previously, and they are helpful. Let's get some help structuring the reflective statement part of the assignment. We'll ask ChatGPT for some advice on how to earn the highest marks possible and suggestions for structuring this component of the assessment. It is suggested that we open with a short introduction and provides some sample text we could use for ideas or inspiration. It's not bad. ChatGPT then says we should describe the experience of using GenAI and gives us some examples. Then we should critically analyze the experience, reflect on ethical considerations and implications, and end the section with a conclusion. It provides some good ideas for things that we could include. Well, I'm going to get cracking on this assessment then. First, I'm going to use Claude to generate the research proposal that I will mark and critique for the assignment. Let's write the research proposal on how students can use GenAI ethically as part of their studies. Even though there is some consensus at the time of recording that Claude is the best GenAI chatbot, it's doing quite a bad job with this task and creates an output that is far too long. When we go back and ask for it to adhere to the instructions, it gives us a research proposal without a reference list. Anyway, one way or another, we've now got a research proposal to mark and critique. We're going to use the structure recommended by ChatGPT and see if we can use its examples to guide what we write. I don't like the overall evaluation and recommendations, so let's scrap that. Number 3, research assistance. Find sources or summarize text. In writing the assignment, we're going to use GenAI as a research assistant. Two of the main ways of doing this are finding sources and summarizing text. For the first assessment criterion, we need to evaluate whether the research question or objective is clear and focused and aligned with the overall purpose of the research. Let's pretend I wasn't paying much attention during the lecture. Hard to do when you're teaching it, and I don't know what the characteristics of a good quality research objective or question is. This means I can't compare or contrast this with the GenAI research proposal and those characteristics. We need to find an academic source that will tell us what a clear and focused research question or objective is. And because we're using GenAI, we won't just search our university's databases or use Google Scholar. Let's use Elicit, link in description. This is a brilliant GenAI research tool, though you need to verify its output, just like any other GenAI tool. We'll put in our question, for an undergraduate research proposal, what are the characteristics of a clear and focused research question or objective? We've got a summary answer here from Elicit. It says that good research objectives should be precise and relevant. Good research questions should address a specific gap in knowledge and be clear and concise. Okay, that gives us something to work with, and we've got some citations that we could potentially include in our assessment. I like the look of this paper by Abdullah and Owusu Ansah that overviews the elements of good research proposals for undergraduates and postgraduates. I want to learn what they say about good research questions or objectives, but I don't really want to read the whole thing. Let's upload a PDF of this article to ChatGPT and ask it to summarize what the paper says about good quality research questions or objectives. I should note that not all educators would be happy with you interrogating a text like this. If you have any doubts about whether this is acceptable for the module you are studying, ask your lecturer or professor. The summary gives us some criteria we can look for, like specificity and unambiguously written, realistic and time-bound, measurable and achievable, and SMART, being an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Let's go a little further. Again, not all educators would be happy with you using GenAI like this, so ask your instructor if you need clarification. Let's copy and paste the research question from the GenAI research proposal into ChatGPT and ask it to compare the question to the characteristics of good research questions from the article. Overall, it's saying the research question is satisfactory, though it does offer some suggestions for how it could be improved. This will help with how we write this section of the assignment. Anyway, we've got a lot of GenAI text and ideas that we can paraphrase or write in our own words for this section. We've read some summaries of academic literature that we can cite to support points we want to make. We're done with this section, and we'll skip ahead to marking and critiquing the GenAI research proposal according to another assessment criterion. I'm choosing the third criterion for a reason, and it will allow me to illustrate the next way you can use GenAI to help with assignments or essays. Number 4, clarifying concepts. Yes, GenAI can be a very useful tool to help you understand key concepts or ideas, and we're going to use it to make sure that our understanding of one of the most complex concepts in the module is correct for the assignment. This is the notion of research philosophy or research paradigms. The GenAI research proposal says that it is underpinned by a pragmatist paradigm, and it is appropriate for mixed methods research and developing actionable guidelines. To be honest, I can't remember that lecture and want to check that I understand paradigms correctly and that pragmatism is what the GenAI claims it is. I also want to hear about alternatives and learn whether they might be more suitable. Let's ask Claude to tell us about research philosophy or paradigms and help us understand what they are and which might be appropriate for different research objectives. So research paradigms are like a pair of glasses through which researchers view the world. Positivism is appropriate for testing theories or making generalizations. Doesn't sound right for the GenAI research proposal. Interpretivism is suitable for complex social phenomena, cultural practices, or individual experiences. Again, doesn't sound right for the GenAI proposal. Now, pragmatism is suitable for solving real-world problems or informing policy. Sounds like the GenAI made the correct decision there. I just have to be sure to support my comment with a credible citation. Number 5, brainstorming or idea generation. Let's skip all the way down to the reflective statement now, where we're going to use GenAI for brainstorming or idea generation. The thing is, I'm not sure what to reflect on in my reflective statement. I need some ideas. Let's see what ChatGPT thinks, and we'll get it to provide some questions so we're reflecting on real experiences. ChatGPT has mentioned Gibbs' reflective cycle could be used to organize the reflection. I don't know what that is. I'm sure ChatGPT can help. Okay, it's a 6-stage framework for reflecting on experiences and learning from them, and ChatGPT is even giving us some ideas for these stages. This is great. I think I'm going to use these 6 reflective stages to describe the issue I encountered where Claude wrote a research proposal that was way too long. I could do with some examples or ideas to get me going with that first. Yes, indeed. That's exactly what I was hoping for to get me started. I can flesh out all these points and detail this experience and my reflections in full. 6. Grammar or style checking. Proofreading. Next, let's use ChatGPT to proofread the work and check that it is presented at an appropriate standard for an undergraduate student. I also want some suggestions for texts that I could cite at appropriate places in the reflective statement that would support some of the points I'm making. And yes, I've said this several times in the video, many educators would not be happy with this, and check whether this is satisfactory before you submit any work that does this. Additionally, you'll need to verify any of the claims that the GenAI makes about these sources and confirm they are appropriate to be cited in support of a claim or statement. By prompting GenAI for feedback on the quality of communication and how the work is presented, we can identify some ways we could potentially improve the quality of the work. We've got some good comments on the structure and organization, grammar and style, and the depth of analysis. We've also got some suggestions for sources that we could consider citing that support aspects of what we've written for the reflective statement, pending confirmation of their appropriateness. 7. Citation formatting. The final way to use GenAI to help you with writing an essay or assignment is citation formatting. Different universities have different preferred citation formatting styles, and I've taught at universities that use the Harvard style and APA style. For this assignment, we're using the APA style. Manually checking your citations isn't a fun part of writing assignments, so let's see if GenAI can help us. We wanted to check whether the reference list is complete and correct. It's added italics in appropriate places for the citations, excellent, and added correct DOIs, that's digital object identifiers, and URLs. Of course, I checked that these were correct, and now we just have to fix up the reference list and make sure that it's in alphabetical order. Because this assignment was entirely written by us, we don't have to worry about AI detectors or accusations of cheating. We used GenAI in a variety of ways to enhance our productivity and the quality of our work. But because we did not use any unchanged GenAI written material, we can rest easy knowing that our work is beyond reproach and authentically ours, though GenAI tools were used in its composition. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching. I hope that you found this video useful and helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if there's anything you'd like to see on the channel or learn about GenAI in higher education, let me know in a comment. Thanks a lot.